So what is an audit report? It is a statement or letter which contains the opinion of an auditor about the financial statement is known as audit report. The internal control system should be reliable, effective and should provide timely, authorized and required data from the system. Using the computer, so this auditing work is done. So that is known as computer assisted techniques. Hello everyone, I am Harshita, lecturer, Department of Commerce, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. Today we are in the 7th session of Unit 1, that is Introduction to Auditing. So my dear students, we shall quickly recall what we have discussed in a previous session. So in a previous session we have covered one of the important topic, that is audit report. So we shall recall what is this audit report. So my dear students, I have told you the work of an auditor is to examine or verify the books of accounts of a client or of a organization. So when he verifies or examines the books of account, after that he have to prepare a report, that is giving his opinion about the financial statement of an organization. So that report is known as what? Audit report. So what is an audit report? It is a statement or letter which contains the opinion of an auditor about the financial statement is known as audit report. In today's session, we shall continue with a new topic, that is Computerized Information System, CIS, or Computerized Information System Environment. Let us see what is this Computerized Information System. So my dear students, now computer plays a very important role in each and every sector. In the same way, how computer is being used in accounting as well as in auditing process. So Computerized Information System Environment or Electronic Data Processing Environment. So these two terms are similar, means an environment where computers are extensively used. So here computers are extensively used in an enterprise for processing of significant financial information. So in order to get the financial information, so in earlier use the human resource, whereas nowadays they are using the computers to get the financial information. So that is known as what? Computerized Information System Environment. That is the environment in which computers are being used extensively in order to get the financial information of an organization. And the next one is, in other words, data processing done with the help of electronic computers. So here data processing is done in order to get the financial information using the electronic computers, is popularly known as electronic data processing or computerized information system environment. Now clear about this word, that is the computers which is being used for processing financial information is known as computerized information system environment. Now let us see what are the uses or benefit of computerized audit. So why this computer is used in the auditing process? So the first one is speed. So you know computer works more speed than that of human resource. So here also in the auditing process, so this auditing work also will happen with a greater speed. So the work of recording of transactions, so that is recording of transactions in the books of account, preparation of books, accounts can be done with greater speed. So using the computer, so this accounting activities can be done with much greater speed than that of a human resource. And the second one is greater accuracy. So accuracy means what? Correctness. So correctness in the result of accounting activities, or the activities which is conducted in order to get the accounting information. So there will be correctness or accuracy of information. So the chances of arithmetical errors, so it is common that humans makes errors, but by using the computer, so there is a less chances of arithmetical errors and human errors are reduced to minimum. So here arithmetical errors and human errors can be reduced by using the computer. And the next one is greater economy. As I have told you, the working of computer is more speed than that of a human resource. So it leads to maximization of work with minimum cost. So thereby it leads to greater economy in work. So under the mechanized accounting system, work can be done with minimum staff, as well as the speed is also more and the work can be done with minimum staff and with minimum cost. So that it leads to greater economy. And the next one is better records. So the records, that is accounting records as well as auditing records, can be maintained very easily. So records prepared by machines are neat and clean. It is more legible, systematic and uniform. Whereas if a staff maintains the books of accounts, so there is a chances that it is not in a proper legibility, as well as it will not be neat also. Some staffs maintain neat books of account, but some staffs, it is quite difficult for them to maintain neat books of account. By using this computer, so records prepared by machines is very neat and clean when compared to humans. So records prepared by machines are neat and clean, and it is more legible because it is in the form of fonts, right? So it is more legible, systematic and uniformity can be maintained in the books of accounts. Next, greater information. So various types of information and statistical data regarding the operation of the business can be easily collected. So regarding the operations of the business, since the working of the computer is very speed, so the information, collecting information is very easy, that is relating to statistical data. So here the statistical data, the information or the collecting of information is very easy by using this computerized audit. Next, interim accounts. So I have told you, this preparation of accounts is very easy because the computer works with greater speed. So it is very easy to maintain interim accounts also. So what do you mean by interim accounts? Financial accounts prepared twice in a year. Auditing is also done twice in a year, so that it will be helpful for giving the interim dividend to the shareholders. Because after the auditing is done twice in a year, so they can declare the interim dividend. They will come to know the accuracy of the financial statements of the organization. So this computer will help to maintain interim accounts. So interim accounts can be prepared without delay. Since computer works with greater speed, so there is no delay in preparing interim accounts. This will help the management to declare interim dividend. So interim account in the sense accounts which is prepared twice in a year. So it can be made very easily because the speed is also greater, as well as it will help to declare the interim dividend. Next, analysis of data. Once the basic information is fed into the computer, so the computer can analyze the information, and the information what providing will also be accurate. So the analysis of information is made very easily with the help of computer. So once the basic information is fed into the computer, it can be sorted in many different ways. In the sense, often changes can be made by using the computer. So here, when a person maintains a books of account, so if they want any changes, so the whole book of account has to be changed. Whereas one computer, so since it is stored inside the computer itself, so they can make the changes very easily. So analysis of data can also be done very easily by using computers. Next, avoid overtime. Next, working overtime can be reduced because the speed of the computer is more, and even it prepares accurate account, so it reduces overtime work. So the work of accounts are done quickly. The accounts can be prepared without any loss of time. And the next one is reduction in audit fee. So here, if a person is appointed for auditing process, so there are number of staff who is working behind that auditor. So there will be number of staff working with the auditor. So it leads to greater audit fees. In the sense, this auditor has to give audit fees to that staff, that is audit staff. By using the computer, the speed and accuracy is more, so it leads to reduction in audit fee. In the sense, the number of audit staff also decreases, so thereby the audit fee can also be reduced. So the workload of audit works. So the workload of audit work is reduced by the computer. Hence the computerized audit reduces the audit cost. So here the workload also decreases because this computer works more than a human. Next, computerized audit reduces the monotony of audit work. Here, when an auditor goes for auditing, so he has to do that auditing work often and often. So there is a monotony, in the sense similar work is done often and often. So it creates a monotony in the humans. Whereas through computers, this monotony of work can be reduced. Next, computerized audit enhances reliability of work. So there will be correctness. So it is more reliable than that of humans. So this computerized audit is more reliable. And next one is computerized audit ensures flexibility. In the sense, if any changes which has to be made in the auditing process, so that can be made very easily. Next, computerized audit is helpful for the smooth functioning of auditing process. So it leads to smooth functioning because it does not require more human resource. At the same time, the speed and accuracy is also very good in computerized auditing. Now let us see what are the problems or disadvantages in computerized auditing. So it is not suitable for small business firms. So if you take a big organization, there are a number of transactions which has to be audited or which has to be verified. So this computerized auditing will help them. But when compared to small business organization, where number of the transaction is very less and even the capital is also less in small organization, so it is quite difficult for them to afford this computerized auditing. And next is difficulties to detect errors and frauds. So it is quite difficult to detect errors and fraud through this computerized auditing. Next, absence of supporting OCHs. So when you go for auditing, so each and every transaction needs a supporting OCH which act as a evidence. But through this computerized auditing, there is a absence of supporting evidence. Next, storage problem. So this auditing requires number of documents, number of notes to be prepared. So it leads to storage problem in the computer. And the next one is computer frauds and computer virus. So it leads to fraud as well as virus. So there may be computer frauds and virus which leads to loss of accounting information. Next, easy to make alterations. So it is difficult to make alterations. So the advantage was it was easy to make alteration. In the same way, disadvantages is that once the account or once the auditing work has been saved, it is quite difficult to make changes. And the next one is it creates unemployment. As I told, it requires less human resource because this auditing work are done with computer. So it leads to unemployment. Next, absence of input documents. So it leads to absence of input documents, lack of visible output and coding problem also will be there. So these are the disadvantages of computerized auditing. Next, audit approaches in an EDP environment. So let us see what are the approaches, that is audit approaches in this EDP environment. So there are three approaches to auditing in an EDP environment, that are auditing around the computer, and the second one is auditing with the computer, and the third one is auditing through the computer. So these are the three approaches, that is auditing approaches in EDP environment. Which are the three types? Auditing around the computer, auditing with the computer and auditing through the computer. Now let us see these three auditing approaches, that is in EDP environment. So the first one is auditing around the computer. Auditing around the computer is an audit approach under which an auditor carries out the audit in the same way as the traditional or manual system, except that instead of examining handwritten books, he examines the computer printout. So what is the difference here? Here also, this is a type of auditing where they are going to examine or verify each and every transaction. But there is a difference. In the manual auditing, they will take the handwritten books and they verify the books of account. Coming to computerized auditing, so they will take the printout of that and they will examine the books of account. So instead of examining handwritten books, he examines computer printouts. So this is the difference. So this is auditing around the computer. So it is like the manual auditing itself. Instead of verifying handwritten books, here they examines computer printouts. And the second one is auditing with computers. Now let us see what is this auditing with computers. Under this approach, the auditor does the audit work with the help of computer. Here also they are doing the auditing work with the help of computer, that is general software. So using the general software, they are doing or they are examining or verifying the books of accounts. So under this approach, audit work is carried on in a traditional manner, but the computer software is used for certain operations. Now, what is auditing around the computer? It's like manual computer, but they are not going to check each and every transaction from the handwritten books of account, but they will take a computer printout. Whereas coming to auditing with computer, here auditing is done with what? General software. So they will use a software and they will do the auditing work. Next, auditing through the computer. Here the computer itself is doing the auditing work. So auditing through the computer means making use of computer in auditing. So they will make use of computer in auditing. Whereas in other two types, they were using software as well as they were using the computer printout. But here they are using the computer itself for auditing work. Under this approach, the auditor evaluates internal control relating to EDP. Later we shall see what is this internal control that is relating to EDP, and on the basis of that he will evaluate and he determines the nature and timing of the work. So this is auditing through the computer where they are using the computer for auditing work. Now let us see what is this internal control under an EDP environment. What is this internal control? So for the control of various problems, so as I have told you, computerized auditing in the sense they are going to use the computer for examining as well as verifying the books of account. So during this process of verifying or examining the books of account using the computer, so there are a number of problems they are going to face, right? So for the control of various problems connected with the installation and operation of computers. So during the process of installation and operation of computer, during this audit process, so we require what? Internal control. So there should be some control which has to be taken in order to minimize this installation as well as operation of computer while doing the auditing work. So there should exist an adequate and satisfactory internal control system. Why internal control system is required? In order to reduce the risk which is going to happen while recording the auditing process. The internal control system should be reliable, effective and should provide timely, authorized and required data from the system. So during this auditing process by using the computer, so there will be lot of problem arising. So in order to reduce that problem, there should be proper internal control system. So that is known as what? Internal control under an EDP environment. So the various internal control required to be enforced under EDP environment may be broadly classified into two types. Let us see which are the two types. That is, in order to minimize the risk in the computerized auditing, so these are the two types of internal control system. So the first one is general EDP controls and the second one is EDP application control. So which are the two types? General EDP control and EDP application control. Now what is this general EDP control? So these are the general control or the control which is made in general in an organization is known as general EDP control. So the purpose of general EDP control is to establish a framework in overall control. So in order to reduce the risk in the auditing process, that is in the computerized auditing process. So it is established to framework of overall control over EDP activity. So these are some of the general EDP control. Division of responsibility or duties. So here responsibilities or duties has been divided because in order to reduce the confusions. Next, control over development and maintenance of software. So this is, I have told you, auditing with the help of computer. So there should be a good maintenance of software, that is development and maintenance of software. Control over operators. Next, control over data access and program access. Next, control over editing of data. Next, storage control. Next, hardware control. So these are some of the internal control, that is internal control of EDP program, that is general EDP controls. Next, EDP application control. So here EDP control has been divided into general EDP control and general application control. Now let us see what are the general application control. For the smooth working of EDP system, besides the general EDP control, there should be certain special EDP application control. So there are 3 EDP application controls. So this is some of the important EDP application control. For example, control over input, control over processing and output control. So control over input, control over processing and output control. And the next topic is computer assisted auditing techniques. So what are the techniques which is being used in computerized audit? So techniques which used computer itself for auditing process are called as computer assisted auditing techniques. So what do you mean by computer assisted techniques? Using the computer, so this auditing work is done. So that is known as computer assisted techniques. Let us see what are the techniques. So the first one is test data, integrated test facility, and the next one is controlled processing, and the fourth one is computer audit program. So here computer is being used for auditing. So that is known as what? Computer assisted auditing techniques. So these are some of the important techniques which has been used for computerized auditing. Then let us see what are the recent trend in auditing or in current issues. So in the auditing process, what are the recent trends which has been made in the auditing process? So auditing is not just examining or verifying books of account, rather than auditing have expanded to such an extent that so its work has been made much more better. So it's not just verifying the books of account, other than it has been used in many other cases. Let us see which are the field this auditing process has been used. So there are several current issues in auditing. Some of the important current issues or recent trend in auditing are audit committees. Let us see one by one what is this recent trends which are made in auditing. So auditing is not just confined to verifying or examining books of account, rather than this auditing is done in many other fields. So here there are certain fields like auditing committee, social audit, inflation audit, next human resource accounting and auditing, reporting on financial sickness, financial forecast and their auditing. So here auditing is not just confined to verifying books of account, but in these areas also, so this auditing is being conducted. Now let us see the first type, that is audit committees. So audit committees is formed within an organization between board of directors and external auditor. So between board of director and external auditor, so this committee is formed, which is known as what? Audit committees. So an audit committee is a subcommittee of the board of directors formed for the purpose of reviewing the annual financial statement. So what is the work of this audit committee? So they are going to review the financial statement. So it is a subcommittee of board of directors before their submission to the board of director, assisting the board of director in discharging their function efficiently. So in order to reduce the work of board of director, so this board of director will appoint a committee which is known as audit committee. Now what is the work of an audit committee? To review the financial statements of an organization. So this acts as a link between board of director and external auditor. So here this audit committee is a link between board of director as well as external auditor. So this audit committee will be appointed by the board of director in order to reduce the duty of board of director. Now what is the duty of an audit committee? To review the books of account. So it acts as a link between board of directors and external auditor. An audit committee generally consists of 3 to 5 members. Hope you are clear with this audit committee. And the second one is social audit. Aim of each and every organization is to earn profit. In the sense, the main aim is to improve the profit of an organization, which is called as economic objective. So what is the economic objective of each and every organization? To earn profit. Along with economic objective, that is along with earning profit, what the organization is going to give to the society. So which is known as what? Social objective. So here earning profit is known as economic objective, whereas helping the society is known as what? Social objective. Now what is this social audit? Social audit is a systematic study and evaluation of business enterprise social performance. In the sense, what the organization is going to give to the society. So that is known as what? Social objective, as distinguished from its economic performance. Rather than making profit, what the organization is going to give to the society. So verifying that is known as what? Social audit. Social audit is intended to evaluate the social performance and contribution of an organization. So how the business organization, what the business organization is going to contribute to the society rather than only making profit. So that evaluation is known as what? Social audit. And the next one is inflation audit. That is, in order to evaluate increase or decrease in the price in the economy is known as what? Inflation audit. So the accounting which records the effect of changing price. So the price in the economy keeps on changing, so it might increase or decrease. So evaluating that change in price is known as what? Inflation audit. The auditor is required to consider the price level change recorded in the books of account. So according to the economic increase or decrease in the price, how the price has been evaluated is known as what? Inflation audit. And the next one is human resource audit. Human resource accounting and auditing. So here they are going to evaluate the human resource of an organization. So it is the accounting and recording of human beings. It's nothing but human resource in the organization like any other assets. Like any other assets in the organization, human resource or evaluating or examining the human resource of an organization is known as human resource accounting and auditing. The auditor will be called up to evaluate the human resource investment. And the next one is reporting on financial sickness. So here financial sickness in the sense the loss or the percentage of loss of an organization is known as financial sickness. In the sense, those organizations which are not able to pay their debt, they are known as what? Sick organization or sick company. So evaluating that sick organization is known as what? Reporting on financial sickness. So the sick industrial company are those company which satisfies the following condition. So it should be an industrial company. It has been registered for a period not less than 5 years. So they have registered for a period not less than 5 years. It's accumulated losses. In the sense, they are not able to pay their debt. So they are in loss for many years. So they are not recovered or they are not able to recover their losses, such type of business is known as what? Sick business. Now, what is this reporting of financial sickness? An auditor is required to assess the financial health. That is, in order to know the financial sickness of an organization, identify initial financial sickness and reporting on the same is known as what? Reporting on financial sickness. That is, those organizations who are not able to pay their debt or not able to recover their losses, so they are called as what? Sick industries. So, reporting on that sick industry is known as what? Reporting on financial sickness. Next, financial forecast and their audit. So, depending upon the previous year profit, so the work of an auditor is to predict the future profit. The forecast is a statement of events likely to occur in the future. So, depending upon the previous year financial statement, so this auditor have to examine as well as verify and give a statement or give a report about the future financial position. A financial forecast is a forecast of the financial position of the enterprise in the future. So, how the future financial position will be depending upon the current position. So, nowadays certified accountants are required to report on their client's profit forecast and financial forecast. So, these are the recent trend in the auditing process. So, here depending upon the current situation, they are going to predict the future. So, they will give an audit report about the future profit of the organization. My dear students, in today's session, we have learnt about computerized auditing. That is the role of computer in auditing process as well as recent trend in auditing. See you all in my next session with a new topic. Till then, take care. Thank you.